Welcome into the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. I am your host, Harrison Graham, and on today's show, got a lot of injury news to get to as we are 4 days away from the divisional round matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll talk about the latest there as well, but let's start with Mecole Hardman, kind of get the bad news out of the way, and it's not looking good for number 17. Sounds like he's not recovering properly. Heading into that Week 18 game against the Raiders, we thought there was a chance he would play in that game, did not. And it doesn't sound like he's playing this game either. Mecole Hardman did not practice today, and Andy Reid said in a quote here, it's not responding the way he wants it to. Talking about Hardman's pelvis injury. He did talk about Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Jody Fortson, say they will practice. We'll talk about them a little bit later on as CEH and Fortson both on IR could be candidates to return. The way Andy Reid said it and just the quotes and the tone, I think Hardman could be done for the year, and that's pretty disappointing because for a lot of reasons. One, he's a speed demon that can help this team right now. Two, it's been frustrating for him. He has not played since Week 9. And three, he's entering free agency. This could be it for Mecole Hardman in Kansas City. And if it ends this way, it's a bit of a disappointment because when he was playing, the volume wasn't huge, but his impact was felt this year. He had 25 catches and 6 touchdowns, 2 of those on the ground this season. Had that pelvis injury, went on IR. They activated him, but based on how he talked today, I don't think there's any chance he plays against the Jags. And I don't know if he's going to play at all the rest of these playoffs. So this is kind of what you're left with at the wide receiver position. Juju, MVS, who's been quiet for several weeks. Kadarius Toney, who's been trending up, obviously. That trade even more valuable, especially now with Mecole Hardman's issues. Mecole Hardman injured. Sky Moore, I think, should be good to go, although he's been dealing with the hand injury. I think he's going to play Justin Watson as well. It's just a bummer for Mecole. It's a bummer for this team because it just seemed like he was trending in the right direction, like he would at least have a chance to play in this game, and maybe something changes in the next couple days. But based on how Reid's sounding, the fact that he didn't practice, even though they had last week off essentially with the bye week, not looking good for Mecole Hardman. And, I hope this isn't the end of the road for him in Kansas City, but it very well might be. What do you guys think? Predict it. Has Mecole Hardman played his final snap as a Chief? It's very possible. Type Y for yes, type in for no. Predict it for us down in the comments section. All right, let's talk about some of those other guys now. Jody Fortson, is he going to return? A couple of touchdowns. Thought he'd have a bigger role this year before the injury, but still a guy that if he could get healthy, you'd like to have him as he's recovering, could get activated from IR. We'll see. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, is he going to be back? Pretty minimal impact this year on that front. And I do want to talk a little bit more about Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Let me make this very clear. And this is nothing personal. This is just reality. Clyde Edwards-Helaire should not have a role on this football team. Now, if he occasionally gets a carry here and there and has 3 or 4 touches in a playoff game, that's fine. But what I mean, he shouldn't have a role. He should not be RB1 or 2. Not even close. Jerick McKinnon just won AFC Offensive Player of the Month as he's had 9 touchdowns over the past 6 games. Sure, he's more of a receiving option. He's not going to have 25 carries for a game, but he's a guy that needs to play a lot of snaps. And Isaiah Pacheco had already seeded Clyde Edwards-Helaire as the starting running back of this football team. So if you're asking me what I think about Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's RB3 at best. If you want to sit there and say, okay, he's better than Ronald Jones, and you want to go back to him being RB3 and Ronald Jones inactive, sure, that's fine. I don't think there's a huge gap between Ronald Jones and CEH, but Pacheco is a more physical, explosive runner, and McKinnon is your best all-around back at this point. So, I'm sorry. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, to me, the experiment's over. I don't really care if he returns or not. I think he's a cut or trade candidate this offseason. If he comes back and has a role, that's great. But I don't want him, taking key snaps away from McKinnon or Pacheco. Now, be honest with me. Do you want Edwards-Helaire to return? Type R for return or P for pass. I'm kind of indifferent. If he comes back and is RB3, sure, that's fine, but he better not be RB1 or 2, and I don't think he will be. R for return or P for pass. Now, today's show is sponsored by LinkedIn Talent Solutions, and listen, we're a small company here at Chat Sports, and we've been able to grow by making key hires, and LinkedIn helped us do that as they allowed you to post your job for free. As a small business owner or hiring manager, you know that success in 2023 all depends on team members you surround yourself with. That's why you got to check out LinkedIn Jobs. With LinkedIn Jobs, you can hire qualified candidates more efficiently by matching up roles with people who have the skills, values, experiences to help you achieve your goals. LinkedIn Jobs helps you quickly attract qualified candidates to your open jobs with targeting tools. They go beyond resume data by using insights from your job post, company, and their 875 million member profiles to put your post in front of the most qualified candidates. You can then identify the most qualified candidates on LinkedIn Jobs and connect with them fast and for free. LinkedIn Jobs makes it very easy to screen and rate applicants based on your job qualifications all on one platform. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. So post your job for free at linkedin.com/NFL Daily. That's linkedin.com/NFL Daily. That link will be in the description and in the comments of this video. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn.com/NFL Daily. One more injury update here, and it is on Frank Clark. I guess it's more in the semi-unknown meter here, but he did practice today after he suffered that groin strain in Week 18. Andy Reid kind of used this vague quote of, he's working hard and progressing. I think Frank Clark plays. He was out there today. He's played through nicks and bruises before, and you want him out there because, he's not the dominant force that you were banking on when you traded for him a few years ago, but he's a solid player. 5 sacks, 8 tackles for loss, has a forced fumble, and this defensive line is really coming to its own down the stretch of this season with Chris Jones. Kalen Saunders has been really good. Frank Clark has been a piece. Carl Loftus has really stepped it up. Michael Dana has been a nice piece. And the Chiefs quietly, I actually didn't even realize this until a couple of days ago, finished second in the NFL with 55 sacks. This front four really played well, especially in the second half of the season. Obviously, Chris Jones, big part of that, but Frank Clark's been a guy that's been around. He's played in a lot of big games. You want him out there in a game like this. So hopefully he's good to go. I think he will play, but we'll know more as we progress throughout the week. And as we get more updates, we will have you covered with those updates. So subscribe to the channel if you love the Kansas City Chiefs. We provide the latest Chiefs news, rumors, game analysis, pregame, postgame shows. We'll be live for a watch party on Saturday as well. So hit that sub button and join us for that. Now, speaking of this Saturday's game, Chiefs, Jags, Chiefs 9.5-point favorites, 4:30. It's actually 4:30 Eastern time on Saturday. 3:30 Central time is kickoff. Over-under set for 53. I think this is, on paper, one of the best divisional round weekends I can remember. Jags-Chiefs might be the worst game on paper, and it could still be a really good one. Saturday, 4:30 Eastern. We'll be live at 3:30 Eastern. Giants at Eagles, NFC East battle Saturday night. That's going to be lit. I can't wait for that. Giants playing better. Bengals at Bills. Listen, the storylines around that, we all know what happened in Cincinnati with the Damar Hamlin. I mean, the emotions for those two teams teeing it up and playing each other again, that's going to be electric to see how those teams respond. And then Cowboys-Niners, a historic rivalry in the NFL. These are great matchups, man. Not just like for this year, but historically. I can't wait for this. I think it's going to be a hell of a weekend. The wild card weekend was awesome. It was even better that we got to watch stress-free as the Chiefs had the weekend off. But these playoffs have a chance to be historic. I can't wait to see how it plays out. And I'm glad Chiefs-Jags are up first. Hopefully the Chiefs win, get that out of the way. Then we can sit back, pop our popcorn, and see how the rest of this weekend goes, because I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Now, what is your favorite game outside of Chiefs-Jags? I think it's got to be Bills-Bengals, right? A, it directly impacts the Chiefs, and B, the storyline of what happened a couple of Monday nights ago, how these teams play against one another, a chance for an AFC Championship appearance for Buffalo and Cincinnati, but I like the NFC games as well. Cowboys 49ers could be epic. So I, for one, cannot wait to see these games unfold. But I just want to hear from you guys what your favorite game is this weekend outside of Chiefs versus Jags. All right. Appreciate you guys for tuning in to today's Chiefs Report. Hopefully we'll have some more injury updates throughout the week. And, we're pulling from Mecole Hardman. Hopefully things take a positive turn, but doesn't sound like he's making much progress. Be sure to follow me on socials. That way you can get up-to-the-minute information and updates. It's at HGramNFL on Twitter and on Instagram. We'll, of course, have you updated here on the channel as well, so subscribe. And until next time, go Chiefs.